Hey guys, Dartarian here, back with another quick Diablo 4 video. So Blizzard just put out a balance patch for Diablo 4. Since the game just came out, looks like Blizzard is being very quick to look at some of the stronger classes and tweak the damage numbers a little bit, so good job to the Blizzard devs. So these particular patch notes, we're just going to quickly go through and look at some of the biggest changes in this particular patch. You can see here June 3, Hello Wanderer, we've made some balance adjustments to classes and want to provide our reasoning behind them. Overall, we're very happy with the performance of our classes, but we know that there's always room for improvement. Our goal behind these changes is to create a more balanced and enjoyable experience across the board. Our updates fall into three categories. Number one, while we want players to both feel and be truly powerful, some class builds and synergies are outside our bounds for what is reasonable for the health of the game, so we're reducing their effectiveness. As an example, we generally want to avoid creating situations where players can survive unreasonably high amounts of damage for long periods of time, because it greatly warps our vision of how combat should be in Diablo 4. Some skills and builds are not effective as we would like, so we're pushing out some buffs to increase their strength. And number three is Paragon glyphs are currently providing too much player power, so we're reducing their overall effectiveness. An ideal we've carried throughout our development and will uphold is that class balance is a journey, not a destination. We want more class builds to be fun, powerful, and competitive within reason. Thanks for supporting us, and we'll see you in Sanctuary. So, Barbarian, you can see here some of these things related to Barbarian have been nerfed. And this is because at the end game, Barbarian is like a powerhouse of a class. It's really strong. You can see here, Challenging Strat got a damage reduction in terms of its class ranking of the skills. 4% to 2% is actually huge. And the reason why is because normally you would put in 5 levels into Challenging Shout, so that damage reduction would be 4% times by 5, which would multiply to be 20%. You can actually increase the ranks even more, up to a maximum rank of 18 with your items and things. So you can take that 4% multiplied by 18, it'll be like 54% damage reduction. And nerfing it by 2%, like it's huge across the board. If you multiply 2 by 5, it'll be 10, and so Challenging Shout got a massive nerf. That being said, I mean, Barbarian's still going to take Challenging Shout anyway, because Challenging Shout is such a strong skill in terms of damage reduction. You can see here the legendary aspects. Some of the legendary aspects got nerfed. I'm not really going to go through these. You can go through the numbers. I'll leave a link of this post in the description down below, so you can look at the exact numbers in terms of this. But here you can see quickly the cooldown reduction got nerfed. You can see the critical strike for this particular aspect got nerfed. So Whirlwind is a really strong skill for Barbarian. A lot of the top Diablo 4 streamers have been saying that Whirlwind is probably the strongest, or one of the strongest builds for not just for Barbarian but in the entire game. So it's really interesting to see that this skill's been nerfed. And again, another Whirlwind legendary aspect as well got changed as well. So a lot of these things are, I think, are pretty much targeting the Whirlwind build, essentially. Next, we're moving on to Druid. You can see Pulverize got its lucky chance nerfed from 33% to 25%. Lightning Storm got buffed, so you can see that they're trying to push people towards the Lightning Storm build. Grizzly Rage, which is the ultimate, got its damage increased by 3% at the 3rd rank. And you can see here 2 of these class specializations, so the Spirit Boons got nerfed quite a bit. Changes to passives here, Electric Shock, damage bonus increased from 5 to 15 to 6 to 8%. So you can see here Electric Shock being buffed again. You can see that Blizzard's trying to push people to use the Lightning build a little bit more. And you can see here some of the legendary aspects got nerfed here as well. Now in terms of Necromancer, skill changes, Bloodlance damage increased from 67% to 80%. Army of the Dead increased damage from 30% to 45%. This is the ultimate. Cooldown reduced from 90 to 70 seconds. That's a big change and a huge damage buff to the skill. Blood Wave damage increased from 90% to 120%. Shadow Blight damage increased from 20 to 22%. Grim Harvest essence gained reduced from 3 to 9 to 2 to 6. Okay, Serration crit chance reduced from 0.5 to 1.5% to 0.3 to 0.9%. Okay, so a lot of these skills for Necromancer seems to have gotten buffed, and I think it's probably indicating that Necromancer was a little bit weaker in the endgame, so now Blizzard are trying to tweak those numbers to make them a little bit stronger. Again, the class specialization, Ray Skeleton, damage increase by 10%, Golem attack increased by 10%, so the minions, they're targeting the minions here, making them a little bit stronger. Iron Golem, again, damage increase, 175%, so this making a huge buff to Iron Golem. Hopefully people will start taking that a little bit more. I don't really play Necro, so I don't know too much about this. Again, Hulking Monstrosity, Golem change increasing the life, and Cult Leader, damage bonus increase from 10 to 15. Alright, now with Rogue, so Twisting Blades. Now, Twisting Blades is one of the strongest builds and strongest skills in Diablo 4 at the moment, so it's pretty good that they're targeting this particular skill. They've actually nerfed this skill a few times, so they're nerfing this even more, so it just goes to show that this skill is just really, really strong. And it looks like Rapid Fire has been increased from 24% to 30%. I think that's really cool because Rapid Fire is one of my favorite builds for Rogue at this point in time. Dark Shroud, reducing the damage reduction. This is a big nerf to Rogues because Rogues have very weak damage reduction already. This is just making it a little bit weaker again, but it must be that they want Rogues to try and dash out of skills and use their movement speed to their advantage rather than taking damage reduction on their character. Okay, so dash increased crit strike damage from 20 yeah, so that's a nerf, 20% to 15. Caltrops damage reduction increased from 30% to 40%. Caltrops, I feel like, is a little bit underused as a skill, so it's good that they're buffing this a little bit. Then you got passive changes, concussive. Crit chance reduced from 5 to 15 to 4 to 12%. Okay, that's good. They're trying to bring the rogues' damage down a little bit. Okay, so my main right now, Sorceress. Okay, Arclash, lucky hit chance reduced from 30 to 14%, and then Glinting Arclash cooldown, which is the cooldown reduction that you get when you hit stunned enemies, reduced from 0.5 to 0.15 seconds. Okay, Teleport, you got Shimmering Teleports, damage reduction duration reduced from 5 to 3 seconds. Legendary Affix, so this one here, this particular aspect is really, really strong on Sorcerer. You've got, so Aspect of Control. So Aspect of Control is you deal 30 to 40% more damage to immobilized, stunned, or frozen enemies. And this works really, really well on Sorcerer because you can use it in any of her builds. So Fire builds with Meteor immobilizes enemies. The Lightning build uses a lot of Stun and Crackling Energy. So Stun is the crowd controller of choice in that particular build. And finally Frozen is obviously for the Freeze Ice build. And you can use any hybrid of these to have your Sorcerer be very, very crowd control heavy. And so obviously this particular aspect is one of those aspects that you want to put on your amulet to increase the bonus, or your weapon to get that bonus. If you max this out and put this on your weapon, you'll get 80% multiplicative damage bonus to crowd control enemies, which is a very easy thing for sorcerers to do. So the fact that they've nerfed it from which looks like a 5% nerf on this particular item. Okay, and then finally here, Druid and Necromancer minions. Maximum damage over time taken per damage instance reduced from 2% to 1% of maximum life. Okay, and then in terms of the Paragon boards, Blizzard has made a big change to the power of some of the glyphs and nodes. So with rare nodes, player attack speed nodes are reduced by 50%. So there are certain nodes that might give like 4% or 5% attack speed. Those have been reduced by half now. So those would be like 2% or maybe 2.5% in terms of how good they are. I think it's because attack speed is one of these damage buckets that makes your character much more powerful. And there aren't many attack speed nodes on your Paragon boards anyway. So this will make your attack speed much less. And attack speed is one of those things that was heavily favored on your Paragon boards anyway. It's one of those things where you would kind of go out of your path just to pick up those attack speed nodes. You can see glyphs have been nerfed across the board. Vulnerable glyph bonuses reduced by 66%, glyph bonuses to rare nodes reduced by 50%, glyphs bonuses to magic nodes reduced by 40%, and then you've got glyph nodes to cold, fire, ice, the different elements, reduced by 62.5%. Across the board, it looks like all of the glyphs have been heavily nerfed. And then finally here, you've got significantly reduced the spawn rate of treasure goblins in PvP zones, and you got some bug fixes as well. So this is the particular patch notes that came out today regarding Diablo 4. We'll have to see how this works out in terms of changes to the game. As again, I will leave the link to this post in the description down below. Leave a comment down below on what you think are the best builds in Diablo 4 at the moment and how you feel about these patch notes. As always, have an awesome day and bye for now.